Hi. Okay. Today we will try to understand what is Agile Scrum framework or Agile Scrum methodology or Agile Scrum process in software development. Okay. So here I think you people are able to see clear picture of Agile Scrum framework. Okay. Let us try to understand each and every part of this framework. Okay. With the terminologies. Okay. So let us start with the product owner. Okay. So when you consider the Agile Scrum framework, okay, there will be three roles. One is product owner, team, then Scrum Master. Okay. So first role is product owner, and the one more role is the team or the Scrum team, and third role is Scrum Master. Okay. You need to uh, have this information before going for the Scrum framework. Okay. The people involved in this Scrum framework mainly are product owner, the Scrum team, and the Scrum Master. Okay. So just we'll keep these terminologies aside and we'll start from here. Okay. So first of all, this product owner. Okay. What is the responsibility of the product owner in the Scrum framework, Agile Scrum framework is, okay, this product owner is like BA, means in the previous or in olden days, when they are working in the software project, there will be a BA. Okay, means that BA was responsible to collect the requirements or business requirements from the client, right? Okay, like that in this Agile Scrum framework, we are not having a terminology like BA. Okay, so instead of that, we are using the terminology called product owner. So from now onwards, we'll use this terminology, that is product owner. Okay, product owner is the person. Okay, he interacts with the client, customer, or stakeholders. Okay, so he interacts with the customer or the client or the stakeholder, and he will try to get the inputs, or he will collect the business requirements from these stakeholders are the clients. Okay, product owner communicates with the stakeholders or the client or the customer and collects the business requirements. Okay, once these business requirements are collected by the product owner, what he will do, he will try to arrange those requirements into some document, means they will he will try to arrange those requirements on priority basis. For example, this stakeholder or customer has given around 4 requirements. Okay, just assume there are 4 requirements. Okay, so once product owner collects those requirements, he will go through these requirements and he will understand among these 4 requirements which one is the first priority one, then which requirement is the second priority one, and which one is the third priority one, and which one is the fourth priority one. Means he will arrange these requirements, collected requirements or collected business requirements in a priority basis. Okay, so here I think you are able to see this one, right? So ranked list of what is required feature stories. Okay, so this, after making this arrangement, okay, based on the priority, product owner creates a product backlog. Okay, he creates a product backlog. This product backlog will be having the list of business requirements given by the customer, and those are arranged on priority basis. Okay, product owner is arranged these requirements on priority basis in this product backlog. Okay, that is nothing but a product backlog. Okay, so once product owner collects the requirements from the stakeholder or the client or the customer, he will try to analyze and he will go through those requirements and he will decide which requirements to be implemented first and which requirements to be implemented next and which requirement to be implemented afterwards. Okay, so that he decides the priority or rank, which one is first and which one is next. Okay, so he makes that arrangement and he creates a document. That document or that arranged requirement document is nothing but a product backlog. Okay, so previously just we were having the requirements, but in Agile Scrum framework, okay, we are talking about this Agile Scrum framework, right? In this, these requirements will be converted into epics, stories. Okay, so the requirements will be converted into epics and stories. We'll try to understand what is epic and what is story. Okay, afterwards, just here, instead of putting these requirements directly, what product owner will do, he will convert those requirements into epics and stories and he will create a product backlog. Okay, so this product backlog will be having the requirement given by the customer in a priority arrangement, and those requirements are converted into epics and stories. Okay, so once these things are done, product backlog is ready, then there will be a sprint planning meeting. Sprint planning meeting. Okay, sprint planning meeting is nothing but here what happens, the team, actual team, means team is nothing but a dev team and QA team. Okay, so dev team and QA team as well as product owner and scrum master. Okay, all these people, what they will do, they will try to gather and they will try to decide. Okay, so which requirement should be implemented first, which requirement means which epic and which story should be implemented or developed first. Okay, so in this sprint planning meeting, they will decide how many requirements to be implemented or how many epics or how many stories to be implemented as a part of this sprint planning. They will decide that, okay, which one is first and which one is next, and for a specific uh, sprint, which requirement they are going to consider and which epic or stories are they are going to implement. Okay, then after deciding that, they will try to move those what you call decided requirements or epics or stories into a sprint backlog. Okay, so this sprint backlog will be having a specific epic and under the epic specific stories. Okay, for example, if there is one epic and if there are 3 stories, okay, if they wanted to implement, or if they already decided as a part of the sprint planning meeting, they have decided like this epic and under this epic these 3 stories to be implemented as a part of the sprint 1, then these things will be moved into current sprint. Okay, that is nothing but a sprint backlog. Sprint backlog is nothing but the committed stories to be implemented for current sprint. Okay, so this sprint backlog will be having the committed stories for this sprint to be completed. Okay, then each and every sprint, okay, if this is a sprint, okay, this sprint will be completed within 2 or 3 weeks. Okay, that is the standard. Okay, each and every sprint should be completed within 2 to 3 weeks. Okay, 2 weeks minimum and 3 weeks maximum. That is the standard for Agile Scrum framework. Okay, so in this sprint, for example, sprint 1, okay, there are 3 weeks. Then for these 3 weeks, they are going to implement these 3 stories and they are going to test these 3 stories and they are going to deliver that these 3 stories or these 3 features to the client. Okay, so as a part of this is a cycle or this is a sprint, right? 2 to 3 weeks. for example here 3 weeks. Okay, in these 3 weeks of work, there will be again a daily scrum meeting. Okay, there will be a daily scrum meeting. Okay, that will be conducted every 24 hours. Means daily, means if this is the first day for the current sprint, then today we'll conduct some daily scrum meeting, that will be for 15 to 30 minutes max. Okay, here each and every person from the team, scrum team means development team and testing team, should be able to give their updates to the scrum master or whole team, you can say. Okay, so what yesterday the specific QA or development person done, and what is the plan for today, and while proceeding for their work or while doing their work, if there are any blockers, that should be communicated or called out in this meeting. Okay, this is very quick stand up. It will run for 15 to 30 minutes. Okay, in this meeting, in this scrum meeting or scrum call, or you can call it as a stand up. Okay, here each and every development team member and testing team member will be updating or will giving their updates to the scrum master. So what exactly happened yesterday, means what type of work he completed or he was doing, and today what is the plan, and while doing this work, whether there are any problems or blockers or any issues. Okay, that will be called out in this meeting. Okay, next, this scrum meeting will be conducted daily basis, means for every 24 hours, means daily. Then it will be done for 3 weeks continuously. Then after completion of these 3 weeks, means sprint 1, there will be a finished work, right? What is the finished work? The outcome of this sprint, that is 3 stories. Okay, so these 3 stories will be finished, means already finished as a part of this sprint. Then there will be a review. Okay, once the work is done, means this sprint is done, then completed stories or features will be reviewed by a product owner. Okay, there will be a review meeting. Here in this review meeting, what happens, either dev team or QA team, will be giving demo, to the product owner. Okay, product owner. So product owner, once this demo is done, product owner will be able to understand, means what has been done as a part of this sprint and how the application is behaving or the features are behaving. Okay, if product owner is ready or is okay with the work whatever they have done as a part of the sprint 1, then product owner accepts this work. Okay, if everything is fine. Otherwise, if there are any issues or problems and it is not, means the features are not as per the requirements given by the customer, then the product owner may suggest some improvements and they can reject this finished work or feature. Okay, so if everything is fine, product owner accepts that, and after this acceptance, what happens, there will be a sprint retrospective. Okay, there will be a sprint retrospective means this is the a meeting conducted after each and every sprint. Okay, means once a sprint is done for these 3 weeks and they implemented 3 stories and it is demoed to the product owner and product owner accepted that work, then there will be a sprint retrospective meeting. Means at the end of the sprint, there will be a gathering of QA and development team, scrum master, as well as the product owner and other team members if they are there. Okay, and there they will discuss, means what are the things went well, means what went good in the previous sprint or this sprint, whatever they have completed currently, and what are the things went bad, and what are the lessons learned what are the lessons learned as a part of the current sprint, so that what can be improved in the upcoming sprints. Okay, those things will be discussed as a part of the sprint retrospective meeting. Okay, and here we need to have some information about the Scrum Master, right? This Scrum Master is the person who is not to belong to any QA team or any dev team. Okay, he is neither part of dev team nor part of testing or QA team. He is the person, the Scrum Master is the person who coordinates between product owner and the team, and this Scrum Master will be responsible to this Scrum Master is responsible to run the process smoothly. Means this Agile Scrum process should be moved or should be uh, maintained properly, right? For that, Scrum Master is having the responsibility. Means Scrum Master is responsible to move the process smoothly. Okay, if anything means, for example, in the Scrum meeting or in the daily stand-up, if somebody is facing some issues and that is called out, for example, I am a tester and I am working in the current sprint for some story, and there might be some blocker. For example, environment is not stable. Okay, if I called out that issue in the Scrum meeting, okay, then Scrum Master is the person to take care of that issue. Okay, the Scrum Master communicates that issue to the high level what you call administrative people, so that that issue or that blocker issue will get resolved as early as possible, so that I can proceed with my work. Okay, so the Scrum Master is responsible to coordinate between product owner, Scrum team, and the management team. Okay, if there are any issues in the process or if there are any impediments or blockers in the process, then Scrum Master is taking note of that. Okay, when there is a Scrum meeting, Scrum Master will be taking note of that and he will communicate that to the management or the respective person who is responsible to solve that blocker or issue. Okay, so this is all about the Agile Scrum framework. Okay, so we'll let us revise it in 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, so there will be a stakeholder or the customer or the client. So, and there will be a product owner. Product owner will be having communication with the stakeholder or the client, and he collects the requirements from the client. Okay, once a product owner collects the requirements from the product owner, once product owner collects the requirements from the stakeholder or the customer or the client, then based on the priority, okay, based on the priority, he will try to arrange the requirements in a systematic manner, and he will convert those requirements into epics and stories, and that is nothing but the product backlog. He moves all the epics and stories into product backlog. Okay, once product backlog is ready, there will be a sprint planning meeting. So, okay, in this sprint plan meeting, they will decide, okay, from this product backlog, which requirement should be taken care of, which requirement or epic or stories can be taken into account for the current sprint and implemented as a part of the current sprint. So after deciding that, they will go for the sprint backlog. Sprint backlog means they will move those decided stories or epic into the current sprint. That is nothing but a sprint backlog. Okay, then from here, what happens? This current sprint will be having the duration till 3 weeks, so that in these 3 weeks they will implement these stories and they will test these three stories. And while doing this work for these 3 weeks, there will be a daily stand-up or Scrum meeting. Okay, Scrum Master is the facilitator for that Scrum meeting. In this Scrum meeting, development team and testing team are going to update their status, means what they did yesterday and what they are going to do today, and If there are any blockers for the current workflow for them, then that will be called out. Okay, so that Scrum Master will take a note of those blockers and he will try to solve those issues by communicating them to the appropriate person. Okay, once this sprint means 3 weeks sprint is done, then there will be a output from this sprint, that is 3 stories are completed. These 3 stories will be demoed to the product owner, so that product owner will be reviewing that finished work. If everything is fine and he is satisfied with the work done, then he will accept that work. Otherwise, he may reject the work. It totally depends upon the product owner. Okay, so once everything is okay and product owner accepted the current sprint work, then there will be a sprint retrospective meeting. Okay, so in this sprint retrospective meeting, there will be a discussion on the points, means what are the things went in the current sprint and what are the things went bad and what we can improve in the upcoming sprints. Okay, and what type of things we can include to improve our process. Okay, those things will be discussed as a part of a sprint retrospective meeting. Okay, this is all about the Agile Scrum framework. Okay, so now what we can do is we'll try to understand the all the terminologies whatever we are using as a part of the Agile Scrum framework once, so that it will be very clear. Okay, so these are the, I think the screen is visible for you people. Okay, so here these are the some terminologies or important terminologies we can use as a part of Agile Scrum methodology. Okay, or Agile Scrum framework. First one is already we have discussed, right? User story. Okay, user story. User story is nothing but it is a feature or it is a component that is implemented as a part of the software application. Okay, so user story is a feature of software application. Next, what is epic? Epic is nothing but collection of stories. Means one epic may have number of stories. For example, I can say epic name is user can, as a user, I can be able to place online order. Okay, what is epic? As a new user, I should be able to place a new order. Okay, so that is high level requirement. Okay, but that requirement can be divided into so many parts, right? Or we can stagger that requirement into so many stories. So if I want to make an order or place an order, again, there are so many things to be implemented. One is, as a user, I should be able to log in first. As a user, I should be able to search for the product. Then as a user, I should be able to add the item to the cart. And as a user, I should be able to make a payment and place an order. So there are 4 things. One is login, search, add item to the cart, then place an order. Okay, so one epic may have number of stories. Epic is a high level requirement. Then that epic can be divided into number of stories. Okay, so here in this example, whatever we discussed, epic is 1 and we have 4 user stories as a part of that epic. Okay, so user story is a specific feature in the software application and epic is a collection of stories. Next, product backlog. Product backlog is nothing but this is the this will be having number of stories or epics created by product owner. Okay, once product owner select here we discussed this one, right? Once product owner gets the requirements from the client or the stakeholder or the customer, then he will be arranging them on the priority basis and those will be converted into stories, number of stories. That is nothing but a backlog. Okay, so here backlog is the collection of the stories and epics. Those are created by whom? product owner. Okay, so that is nothing but product backlog. Next, sprint iteration, sprint or iteration. Okay, so this is the time period to complete the committed stories. Okay, if I want means we are committed as a team to complete 3 stories in the current sprint. Okay, so that in this current sprint I can work on those 3 stories and I can complete those 3 stories. So that sprint is nothing but the time duration to complete the committed stories. Okay, usually sprint time will be or sprint duration will be 2 to 3 weeks. 2 weeks minimum and 3 weeks maximum. Okay. Next, sprint planning meeting. Okay. So sprint planning meeting is nothing but here the team decides the number of stories and the duration to deliver. Okay. So for the current sprint, how many sprints we need to consider for the current sprint, how many stories we can consider and what is the delivery time for that those decided stories. Sprint backlog. Sprint backlog is nothing but after deciding the stories, number of stories for the current sprint, those will be moved into sprint backlog. So that sprint backlog will be having the stories committed for the current sprint. Okay. Next, Scrum meeting. Scrum meeting is nothing but a daily stand-up or daily quick stand-up or Scrum call. There, what happens? Dev and QA team, they are going to update their status. What means what type of things they update, what they did yesterday, and what is the plan for the today, and is there any blockers or impediments for the current work. Okay, those things will be updated as a part of a daily Scrum meeting. Okay, next, retrospective meeting. Sprint retrospective meeting is nothing but this is the meeting conducted after each and every sprint. There, the team are discussing about what are the things went well as a part of the current sprint and what are the things went unwell and what type of things to be should be improved in the upcoming sprints. Okay, so in general, we can say we'll be discussing the lessons learned as a part of the finished sprint. Next, story points. Story points are nothing but for each and every story to complete. For example, if I am having 3 stories and those are part of current sprint, then we need to decide for each and every story how much time we need to complete both development and testing. Okay, so in this we are giving in this story points are nothing but these are the rough estimation given to the story. Okay, or this is the rough estimation of the duration to complete the specific story. Okay, usually the story points will be like will be in Fibonacci series. Okay, Fibonacci series. It will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8 like that. Okay, so depending upon the complexity, we can decide. For example, here I can say for current story, if there is a story 1, story 0, 1. Okay, for this dev team may give story points 5. As a QA team, I can give 3 story points so that dev team are able to complete their work for this story within 5 days and QA team are able to complete their work for this story 1 within 3 days. Okay, so that total story points, this total story points for this story is 8. So we are going to complete this story 1 within 8 days. Okay, 5 days for dev team and 3 days for QA team. So that is nothing but story points. Okay, one story point is nothing but 24 hours. Okay, so 1 day, you can say generally 1 day, one story point is equal to 1 day. Okay, so here 8 means we are able to complete the work for story 1 within 8 days or in 8 days. Okay, next, There is one more term called burn down chart. Burn down chart is nothing but it gives an idea like how much work is done and how much is pending or to be done. Okay, that is nothing but a burn down chart. Okay, so this helps the Scrum Master to maintain the track of the work. Okay, so by looking at the burn down chart, Scrum Master will be having high level idea like or clear idea like how much work is done and how much work is pending for the current sprint. Okay, so these are the terminologies we are using frequently as a part of Agile Scrum framework or Agile Scrum development methodology. Okay, so you need to have idea about all these terminologies. Then it is very easy to understand this, what do you call Agile Scrum framework. Okay, so this is all about Agile Scrum framework. Okay, in the next classes we'll try to uh, understand and we'll try to do all the things, means we can go for creation of the user stories. Okay, we'll try to create the user stories, epics, sprints, backlogs, and we'll do all these things practically by using Jira tool and Zephyr plugin. Okay, by combining Jira and by using Jira and Zephyr, we'll try to do all the Agile Scrum work and as well as test management work. Okay, I think you people understood whatever we discussed as a part of this uh, discussion. Okay, thank you so much.